What is up, everybody? That's Gordon. I'm Todd. If you're in the industry, you know this guy.
How you
Pizza
doing?
Mike in the house.
How you doing?
It's the Pizza Mike. So we've known Pizza Mike for a long time.
Unfortunately or fortunately.
I mean, it just depends on however you look at it. But at the end of the day, he's here with us, and we've got him up and running. So we're going to talk with him about all kinds of fun things and see what he has to say about whatever it is that's inside of that little pizza mind of his.
It's kind of greasy.
It's real
It's
greasy.
really greasy. What you smoking, Mikey?
I am smoking the new Avo 2021.
Impro?
Yep.
Cool.
It's really good.
Yeah. I smoked that Friday. I was pretty impressed. Yeah.
So let's start off, Mikey. Why don't you tell everybody how you got started smoking cigars?
I got smoking cigars through my dad. What he would do is smoke a cigar like on 4th of July or barbecue or some special occasion. It started going from there. And then I met you about 10 years ago, and you're like, no, don't smoke this. You smoke this. And so that's how I got to smoke cigars, and you got me smoking the good stuff.
Since then, what are some of the things that you've done and you've been like, oh, wow, I got to do this cool thing that was a cigar-related thing?
IPCPR, I went to IPCPR with this guy, with Gordon. We were on the same flight. That was fun. Then we go to cigar events together. We went down to the UG, went to No Fucks Given. Excuse my language. Sorry.
We're allowed to cut here.
Okay.
We're all adults.
We're not monetized either, so.
But then you throw events here, and go in that schmooze.
So you have a little tiny organization on the internet, some Facebook group. What's it called?
Pizza Cigar Nation on Facebook.
Okay.
We got 6,000 followers.
It's pretty good. Pretty good.
I hear that's all right.
Yeah.
I hear that's all right.
I mean, I'd be happy if.
We promote cigars, events, all kinds of stuff, and shenanigans.
Cool.
Shenanigans like you getting banned from Facebook for 30 days?
That's tried 90 days one time.
I remember that.
They hate us because they ain't us.
Did
They
you
what?
say? Did you say ain't us or ain't us?
Either
Just to
one works.
clarify.
Either one.
Well,
Okay.
I see
And
where
on
this
that
is
note,
going.
The podcast is over.
All right, man. So 10 years ago, you came into my store and you
Yes.
started talking to me about cigars, and you didn't know a goddamn thing.
No, I did not.
Now you know 3 more things than you used to know.
Yes.
And those three things are.
Wrapper, binder, and filler.
Christ almighty.
Wow, it worked.
It just took 10 years to drill that into his head.
Yeah.
Who's the most interesting person that you've met in the industry so far?
Fuente.
Okay.
Father or son?
The junior,
Junior?
Yeah.
Carlito?
Carlito, yep.
Where'd you meet him?
I met him at the show 2 years ago.
Okay.
I was walking through the Venetian, and he walks by and goes, "Oh, you're the pizza guy from Facebook." I was like, "Oh, what?"
Like you.
I was like, "I've made it." He's like, "We gotta get a picture together."
How did he know that you were, in fact, the pizza guy from Facebook?
I may or may stalk him on Facebook.
And what were you wearing when you met Carlito Fuente?
This beautiful shirt.
No, I think you might have been wearing more than that.
Were you wearing the pants?
Yes, I was.
What
Did
kind of
you?
pants were you wearing, Mike?
Pizza pants.
Were you wearing the shoes?
Yes, I was wearing my pizza shoes too.
Were you wearing your socks?
I was wearing pizza everything.
Okay.
All pizza all day.
Yep.
Okay. So let's backtrack a little bit. How'd you get the name Pizza Mike? 'Cause that's kind of an interesting story too.
Gordon, when he used to work for an old shop, I'm not going to mention, he used to do an event called, what was the event you used to do?
Which event?
Which event?
At
The
the
big one?
yeah,
Big one?
The Cigar Circus?
Cigar Circus, yes. Because I met Jonathan Drew at Cigar Circus, and he was talking to me. He's like, "What do you do for a living?" I was like, "I make pizzas." He's like, "Okay, what's your name?" "Mike." He's like, "I'm going to call you Pizza Mike." And so that's how I got started.
That was pretty melodramatic.
Yeah, I really thought that was going to be a bigger
I thought
story.
it was going to be a bigger, more exciting story. Like you made him a pizza.
So when
Sorry.
when you met Jonathan Drew,
Yes.
that was kind of a highlight, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good dude. Very good dude.
So when you went on, that was the first year of really cigaring for you, right? Maybe like the first or second year?
Mhm.
Why don't you tell everybody about what you learned when you went down to Nicaragua with AJ Fernandez for the first time?
Oh, jeez. I didn't speak a word of Spanish. I barely speak English.
That's true.
supposedly I got married down there. I don't know, but I got a high phone bill when I got back.
Yeah, so I'll tell the rest of that story.
You didn't get kidnapped,
Did not get kidnapped.
although he was asking to be kidnapped.
Everyone wanted you to come back.
Yes,
After you
yes.
left-
Yeah, the
after
second
you
time I
left
got asked to
Nicaragua.
come back.
Yeah.
By AJ Fernandez himself.
So Mike goes down to Nicaragua and he visits AJ Fernandez factory and he has to go alone. At the time, Spencer Drake was the national sales manager. And I called Spencer and said, hey, I can't go. I have to stay at the shop. This is not going to work out. But my friend Mike wants to come down. Is that cool? And he's like, yeah, it's cool. No problem. No problem. Will he be okay? I said, he'll be fine. Just kind of keep an eye on him. It's the first time he's ever been out of the country. And he says, okay,
Due
no
to
problem.
parole. Sorry.
Yeah. So he says, no problem. So he Mike goes down there. He learns a whole bunch about the cigar industry. Gets to see. Jesus, is that going to happen all night? Yeah. He gets to see all the production and everything. Starts to understand how things work with cigars and everything. And they take him out to a bar. One of the big cigar. Was it cigar? What's that?
Cigar Inn or something.
The cigar disco place.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So it's a big dance place and everything. He's hanging out. And he meets this girl and he starts talking to this girl.
Her name is Jolene. Shout out. How you doing?
Jolene doesn't speak English. Pizza Mike doesn't speak Spanish. Her English was okay. So he starts using text.
Google Translate.
Yeah, the Google Translate to message back and forth
Oh, wow.
with her while they're talking, so
Is
that they
this
can.
the girl you married?
Yeah,
Supposedly, I
yeah.
don't know.
So he uses this for like the next 2 or 3 days. They're chatting back and forth while he's in Nicaragua, and he tries to get him to come back to the compound that night, but they couldn't get everybody back at the same time, so she couldn't come with. So he had to say goodbye for the night, and he kept talking to her. He gets back to Kansas, and he's hanging out, and he's talking to her every day. He'd literally sit in the cigar shop and just hammer away, text.
I told her I was a rich gringo.
He told her he was a pizza magnet, which he kind of didn't understand what a magnet was, but that's okay. Told her that he was very successful in his pizza endeavors, which he does own his own pizza store, so that's not a complete lie.
And he knows a lot about pizza.
He does know a lot about pizza.
Every once in a while, this guy will shock you about
Yeah.
cheeses and meats and
Pizza
stuff. Anyway,
facts.
Pizza facts.
we might get into that later.
So we get all done. We get back, and he's living with his parents at this point still, and he everything is fine. Like a week or two goes by, and all of a sudden his mom shows up and says, "Hey, what happened to Mike when he was down in Nicaragua?" And I said, "He went and had a great time. Nothing that I know about." And she says, "Well, did he get into some trouble?" I'm like, "I'm sure he had a little fun, but I don't think he got any serious trouble." And she goes, "Well, maybe you can help me understand why he has a $600 phone bill." So then I had to explain to his mother that he had met this girl and he'd been talking with this girl, and it just went downhill from there. But the whole point of the matter is that you somehow managed to get yourself in and out of a very sticky situation. And I think that's all it has to do with your grease.
Yes.
I think so. That, and for the record, he is an internet addict.
So there is
Mikey
that.
does not have internet.
Yeah.
Yes.
So part of the six, it wasn't all the girl. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
so it was all the girl?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
There's a lot of text
Well,
messages.
you missed it. You mentioned green card, and she's like, "Ooh."
And we just went down another notch.
Oh, So fast forward a few years, and you tell me, "Hey, I want to start an internet group that does pizza and cigars." And I was kind of like, "Well, I guess maybe that might work. People like pizza, people like cigars. All right, maybe so maybe." So the next thing I know, you have almost 1,000 followers, and that was in like 30 days.
That was pretty incredible.
Yeah.
The thing is, I mean, every time I eat a piece of pizza, I always think about a cigar. Not really, but I mean, it was, hey, thousands of followers later. Yeah, it worked. So anyway, I didn't mean to cut you off.
So you grow this thing into like 1,000 people, and all of a sudden you start getting noticed by some of these larger manufacturers. So then you start talking to me, and you're saying that you have media presence, and you try to go to IPCPR, and they tell you at IPCPR that you can't come in because you're not an official media person, because you're just an internet guy on Facebook.
Yeah, the schmuck.
And I believe the term was, in fact, a Facebook schmuck. You're
Yes.
right. I think you were actually called that. And about 10 minutes later, Jonathan Drew grabs you and says, "Why are you sitting out here?" And you said, "Well, they won't let me in." And within 10 minutes, you were on the show floor working for Drew Estate for the week,
Yep.
and able to have full free range access to whatever you wanted to do.
Yep. Pizza Mike out of his cage.
Pretty good for a Facebook schmuck.
Yeah.
After the trade show that year, you had almost 2,500 followers.
Yep.
So in 5 days, you managed to acquire another 1,500 people on Facebook.
That's a pretty mighty feat there.
So I mean, that's really kind of a big deal. And now it's grown. That was 2012, maybe
Mhm.
2011,
Yeah,
2012.
with my personal Facebook too, I've got 10,000 followers too.
5,000, because you can only have 5,000.
Oh, I round up.
Friends. You're gonna have friends.
Dude,
You have
Math is
5,000
hard.
friends.
math
and
is hard.
It's
unlimited
not.
followers.
It's not a circle. It's
No,
very
that's
difficult.
right.
How many pepperonis do you put on a medium pizza?
We do 100 on the large, and we do about 75 on a medium.
So you're not good at math. All right, good.
How many marriage proposals do you get a week on Facebook?
What between what gender?
Okay, well, how about just females to make this real expensive?
They haven't thrown us off Facebook yet.
No, it's coming. We have all the ingredients right here.
We're gonna make one hell of a pizza.
God.
Oh,
All right, female marriage proposals for week, month, year.
I really can't say, right now because some are still married.
Oh, okay. So you actually have women that will leave their husbands
Hey,
and their children to come spend it.
you've had my pizza.
Scott Barber says hello.
What's up,
I
Scott?
haven't seen Scott in a long time.
You're looking
He's
good. You
doing
lost a
well.
bunch of weight.
He has. It looks like Snappy Big Man says, "Hey, little buckaroo, good to see you."
I miss your hugs, buddy.
Just saying. And Laura Sterling looks like she's laughing at you,
Everything.
not with you, just at
At you, yes.
All right. So, anyways, let's continue the pizza saga, if you will. So you start. You've got this Facebook group. You got 3,500, 4,000 people at this point, and basically it's all just memes and funny stuff, and people sharing their cigars and some banter back and forth about cigars and booze and pizza.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you post something, you end up in Facebook jail for 3 days.
Yeah, that's the story of it. Yeah.
During that time period, I've never seen a man more distraught, where he goes and he opens up his phone and he looks and he can't do anything. Like, I literally saw you go,
Come on,
sad face.
I gotta keep my thumb strong.
And I did see you several times just sitting in a chair, and I don't know if you see that, but you just see this.
While he was institutional robbing.
Yeah. So it's a tick, if I don't have my. Come on, you thumb wrestle me, I'll beat you.
So let's have you tell a story. Do you remember when we were in Las Vegas with Paul, and we went to a social event that was tied to IPCPR, and you were wearing pants? You were wearing the pizza
Oh,
pants.
the one time we crossed the street and I started to dance off in the middle of the
You
street.
started to dance off in the middle of the what's that called? The big Las Vegas up in
Strip?
the old days,
Fremont?
the Fremont Street experience,
Fremont.
Fremont experience. So you and some fine gentlemen from across the street were having a dance competition.
Yes.
What else happened that night? Tell the rest of the story.
What I can remember from the story, I was crossing the street and started to dance off, and the dude gets out of his taxi. He's like, "Hey, I'm driving here." I was like, "Hey, I'm dancing here. You can wait." Sorry.
Somehow I don't think you remember this part because, well,
Oh, I made Bryn a little inebriated.
yeah, to the point where we were pretty sure you ended up getting roofied by someone.
Yeah, I call that a Tuesday.
Yeah. So literally the next thing that Pizza would tell you he remembers from that little debacle was almost puking in the back of a car on the way back to his
Oh
hotel
yeah,
room.
and you're like, please, Mike, don't puke in the car. I
The guy,
paid for this.
the guy wanted to charge us $150 for a cleaning fee.
I was like, I paid for this Uber. Next thing you know, blah. Like, I hear, God damn it, Mikey.
Well, he let you pull over.
Yeah.
He pulled over. You opened the door. You kept it out of the car, which was good. But the point is that you went home, rested for an hour, and came right back out. And was hanging out by the Circle Bar by 11 p.m.
Yep,
So
it's all my grease that soaks up sweat.
just soaks it on up. Awesome.
Nice.
Awesome.
Nice.
So tell us a story, Mikey.
Which one do I hear?
Just tell a story.
Any story, doesn't matter.
How I got started in the pizza business? How I owned my restaurant? My dad originally started a pizza chain called Gambino's Pizza in 1977 in Valley Center, and he had 33 stores in 1992. He sold them all. Then he decided to open another restaurant because he knew his kids were getting older. They needed something to do. So he opened another one in 1994 in Central Kansas called Kilroy's Pizza. And so I started working in the pizza business when I was 14. I started doing about 40 hours a week when I was 14. And then about 21 years ago, I bought my dad out. And I've been doing that for, technically, if you count when I was 14, 27 years now. I've been in the pizza business. I've been doing it. So, well, basically, I was born in the pizza business,
Yeah.
From day one. So, I've been doing it before that. Been doing it since then. And before my dad started a chain of pizza restaurants, he played baseball for Kansas City Royals. He was a pitcher.
Which segues into a question I got for you. So you have this happy-go-lucky attitude, Nothing really sticks on you,
Slice a day keeps the doctor away.
Well, yeah. But do you think you got some of that attitude from your dad? Because, you throw a pitch, a guy hits a home run, you got to face another batter on the mound.
No, not really. I think I play pitcher. If I couldn't strike you out, I'd bean you.
That's why you never went to college.
I went to pizza college.
Okay.
School of hard knocks.
Okay. And concussions.
Will someone answer that damn phone?
You got anything planned in the future, Mikey? You got some cool ideas going out there? You want some stuff from Pizza Cigar Nation?
I eventually want to have a food truck. I want to call it Pizza Mike's. Then I eventually want to launch my own cigar.
Okay.
What do you think about the FDA creating roadblocks for you to be able to create your own cigar?
I don't think the FDA should be in charge of cigars because they barely know what's going on themselves. Everything, because they're going bankrupt.
Well, that's a pretty scientific answer.
Yeah.
With that, what do you think are the biggest challenges as far as the pizza business is concerned? Working in the pizza business, being a pizza mogul, if you will.
I'm basically trying to please everybody,
Can't please everybody.
Yeah, and basically it's like, oh, you don't serve this, or you don't serve that, or you don't serve gluten-free, or I'm
Can I get a vegan, gluten-free, non-animal product pizza?
You can get
no,
that.
no oils, nothing like that.
No, you can if you come into my restaurant, like Walmart, get your shit and get out now. No, I don't serve that.
Okay.
I'm a
bless
pizza
you, Mikey.
place. That's like why come to a pizza place? Like, oh, I like your pizza. I've never been here. Heard you have good pizzas. I'll get a salad. You can get out.
Can I get a vegetarian pizza?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
You can get a vegetarian.
As you know, I'm far from a vegetarian.
Oh, I
so,
know.
Yes.
I heard your stories.
Can I have ranch on my pizza or
I'll
on the
charge
side of my pizza?
I'll charge you
Yeah.
the throat punch.
Oh,
Mhm.
it's expensive.
That's going to be considered assault, too.
It's a simple assault. Look, man, we know you make good pizzas. We've had your pizzas. We enjoy your pizzas. I think you've probably fed about half of the Midwest territory reps over the years as well from your store, and they enjoy it. It's a little drive for them, but most of them are used to the drive anyway. So they come up, they have a little pizza, they get to hang out with you for a bit. Over the last 10 years or so of being around the pizza industry and the cigar industry at the same time, you've really become kind of this fixture, if you will. I know that if you were to stop tomorrow, there'd be a lot of people that would miss you dearly. To be really sincere about that for a
Yeah,
second.
I'm just a grease fire waiting to happen.
Way to
truer
ruin a
words have been spoken by Mikey.
So, what are you excited about, or what do you foresee happening in the near future with the cigar industry, knowing what you know about it?
I, from what I read from Facebook and stuff, I'm looking forward to hopefully it gets thrown out because the FDA doesn't know what they're doing regulating cigars. Hopefully we can win one for a change. After all the lobbyists, all the money going towards everything, we can win one.
Okay, so you're hoping that the FDA stops regulating tobacco products?
Yeah.
That'd be great. I don't know that that's going to happen, but that's
I
for
mean, they're
another
not
time.
smoking like teenagers. 17, 18-year-olds not smoking premium cigars. They're smoking 99-cent blunts.
The vast majority.
Yeah.
Right. Strawberry flavored blunt is not a cigar.
Yeah.
Two different things.
The FDA doesn't know that. They think it's premium.
Maybe we should send you up to Capitol Hill. Pizza goes to Washington. This could be a
That would
movie.
be fun. Oh,
This could be a movie.
yes.
Filibuster.
I could see Mikey bribing the FDA with escorts.
And pizzas. And pizzas. Hey,
I'll be
I'll
like
make you pizzas.
I'll be like
escorts.
Animal House. Were we down when the Nazis bombed Pearl Harbor?
Can't
No.
write an escort check.
Yeah,
that's a story we'll tell another time.
that's a different podcast.
That's after hours.
That's after hours.
So, who is your current favorite rep? For anybody that doesn't know, we're in Wichita, Kansas. We have a bunch of the Midwest Territory reps. We deal a lot with pretty much every brand that's out there
That has a rep.
that has a rep. And so Mikey has seen, met, and hung out with, and spent time with, probably fed nearly all the reps in our territory.
Mm-hmm.
So, who's your favorite, Mikey?
I like all the reps.
I know, but who's
That's
your
a good
favorite?
answer.
I
We don't want a good answer. We want a real answer.
I can't think of any. I'm sorry, but I like them all because they're all good people.
All right.
All right, let me give you 10 reps. Rusty, Guillermo, Sam Ventura. I mean, I'm naming guys that have all been to your place.
Yeah.
Mark Thibodeau,
Thibodeau
Garrett Calhoun.
Garrett Calhoun. I like Garrett Calhoun. And Vandenberg.
and Vandenberg.
Yeah.
Yes, I like those two.
You got a good Garrett Calhoun story?
The time he got kicked out of Harris for getting the pizza.
You got to tell the whole story. We know, they don't know. You got to tell the people the story, Mike.
Well, Garrett Calhoun, he was in line at Harris getting a pizza. He was hungry. He just wanted a little something to eat, And this lady cuts in front of him. He's like, bitch, I was here first. I'm trying to get a pizza. He gets a bigger argument with her. And security comes along and asks him to leave. He's like, can I get my pizza first? And he's like, and they're like, no. So he didn't get a pizza and he got kicked out. I was like, next time you go to Harris, come with me. Because I go back in the kitchen and make my own pizza.
True story.
So I'll tell you a Garrett Calhoun story. We're walking along outside of Harris, actually, oddly enough. And he's wearing all of his Oregon stuff. He's a big Oregon State fan. And,
Oregon Ducks.
Yep,
U of
Oregon.
them,
Yeah,
not State.
That's right. I'm sorry. University of
I'm
Oregon.
saving you your friendship.
So he's got his Oregon stuff on, and this it was when they were getting ready to play. It wasn't Alabama. It's not Tulane, but it's the other one. It's in Mississippi, and it's not Ole Miss. It was a big game too. Can't remember what it was.
USC?
No,
No.
it was in Mississippi. Anyway,
Auburn, maybe?
Auburn.
That's in Alabama.
Okay, it is Alabama. So anyway, so this guy's like, "Oh, Auburn, roll Tide."
What?
No, Auburn. He's all excited
Go
about Auburn.
Tigers.
Yeah,
Go Tigers.
go Tigers, whatever it is. And Garrett's like, "Yeah, they're gonna get their ass kicked." And this kid turns around and like smashes his beer bottle and is like lunging at Garrett immediately. So instead of like freaking out and being like, "Oh God," and like trying to wrestle with him, Garrett just grabs this kid by his face, shoves his face down onto the ground with a cigar in his one hand in his mouth, a beer in his hand, grabs this kid left-handed, pushes his ass right down onto the ground. The security guards run out, and they were on Garrett's side this time. And they grab this kid, and Garrett's walking away. He's like, that dumb punk probably isn't even old enough to be drinking. Check his ID, and just strolls right away.
Same bar.
Same bar. So anyways, No, I've got a million Gary Calhoun stories, but we're talking about you tonight because I got even more stories about you.
I'm not sure if that's good or bad, but okay.
Well, if you recall, you used to have a different vehicle than you have now. What are you driving now?
I drive a crusty BMW.
Okay. And what did you have before that?
I had a Nissan Xterra.
Do you remember what happened the afternoon that you left the cigar store in a real hurry?
Oh yeah, I backed into your car.
So Pizza Mike backs into my car, and I'm sitting at the register, and I can see him hit my car. He hits my car, and he pulls right back into his parking spot. He comes walking in, and he's like, "Hey, Gordon, I hit your car." I'm like, "Dude, what the hell?" So I go out and I look.
Like,
And
you got full coverage?
didn't do any damage, and I just look at him. I'm like, "Are you okay to drive?" It's literally 3 p.m. He is stone sober. I think
For once.
I think he was just low on pizza. I don't know if that was the problem, but
The grease to carbohydrate ratio.
it wasn't in balance.
You know,
Yeah.
had an imbalance, shit.
So he got
Chemical
himself
balance.
straightened out a little bit, and then he drove on over to work. But yeah, you're a good driver.
And when you ride with me, you better say your prayers and make sure your health insurance is paid up.
That's true.
For health insurance and life insurance.
Yeah, you got a lot of insurances if you're riding in the car.
That's
with
right.
me.
Make sure it's all paid up. It's like when people complain, "Did you die?" No, you're okay.
I think people are getting a really good look into who exactly you are tonight. Yeah.
True or false? Have you ever driven from Dallas to Wichita at over 100 miles an hour?
I do that. I do that on the way to work. Come on now.
I tried to give you an out, but
Come on, my BMW does 160. Come on, you don't think I maxed that out?
I think it's electronic limited at 138.
So what was the coolest thing you saw when you went down to AJ Fernandez's factory?
Just the whole rolling process. I mean, it was beautiful. I was like,
Talk about it.
I went down there and he had like 2,000 rollers. I walked in, I was like, what is this? Is amazing. And just the way they sort it, they go through the leaves, everything. They roll it, inspect it from one place to another. Inspect it for informities, all kinds of, mix of the leaf, the wrapper, everything. It was just beautiful. It's just amazing how many very few hands touch a cigar.
How many hands?
Yeah.
Okay.
Touch a cigar when it's rolled. It's a delicate process.
Did you guys see the production of the pre-industry part of it? You saw the fields.
Yeah,
you saw
we went through
barns?
yes. There is a picture of me in the fields with my shirt off, like I'm
Of
working.
course there is. Of course there is.
Of course there is.
You had sunburn 30 seconds later. The grease refracted the light and gave you sunburn.
On your face.
So
Because I went with Spencer Drake. The Drake is good.
the Drake is good. We smoked 2 weeks ago. We were talking with Mike Stouse, and we smoked the new Hiroshi Robania that they're doing. There was a Robania Familia box press Toro that they've got. That's an exclusive up at La Cultura.
Good cigar.
It was really nice.
Really nice.
They're making some great product. Spencer obviously is involved with that project, so yeah, a little shout out to him. Yeah. So hopefully we see some more things from them coming out. I think we're going to continue to see more cool stuff as that continues. What do you do when you're not smoking pizzas?
I'm not making pizzas. I am running amok on Facebook. We're not getting banned.
Running amok.
Running amok.
Working on not getting banned.
So PG-13, what is running amok? Fair to say anything that has to do with pizza, sex, or cigars. And it's usually all in one meme, for the most part.
Just run memes,
Mhm.
pizza memes, and checking up on people.
Laura Sterling said something that gave me a great question. It's up here on the board for us to see. You probably can't read it because you don't read English. Good. It's not in shorthand cook.
It's social media. You don't take social media seriously.
So if they were to make a Pizza Mike movie, who would play Pizza Mike?
From the past,
Anytime.
Anytime.
Chris Farley.
Well, she said James Corden, which is actually perfect. I
But
think
he's
that
not
is
fat. He's not fat
hilarious.
anymore like me.
You're not that fat.
Chris Farley wouldn't be terrible, though.
It would be pretty accurate. I mean, I can
Or,
see him with black sheep kind
I
of
mean,
thing.
if pizza had a cocaine habit,
Right.
Chris Farley would be the man.
Nailed it.
Would be the man. I mean,
Or,
nailed it.
who's the dude from Animal House who chugged that whole bottle?
Belushi.
John Belushi.
John Belushi.
Also,
If you did heroin.
Yes.
Nailed it.
All right, so I've asked every person that we've had on this question. I'm going to go ahead and throw it out to you. What's something that you messed up real bad that nobody knows about until right now? Time to fess up.
Creating Pizza Cigar Nation.
Everybody knows about that. My mom knows about Pizza Cigar Nation. Everybody knows about that.
Stole a police car once.
Does anybody know about it?
Just me and my brother.
So tell us the story.
Well,
How do you come upon a police car?
Well, the police chief came into my restaurant eating pizza for dinner. And I walk outside. I'm going outside. I'm going across to the liquor store. And I look over and I see he left the keys in the car. And I was like, oh, yes. So I open. I'm like, yes. And I see my brother through the window. No. I'm like, too late. So I get in the car, start it up, drive around town, turn the lights on and everything. I park it back. I come back in. I go, hangs a little to the left, around 80 miles an hour. He's like, what? I was like, hey, I had to test drive it. You left the keys in the car.
And he didn't arrest you, so that's
No, he
good.
did not.
You are a fixture of that community. You're lucky they love you up there because that's jail time, man.
I think everybody loves Mikey, but maybe one person. But we won't talk about it.
Yeah, I know who you are.
So, Scott Barber says you're one of the realest dudes he knows. You stay true to yourself no matter who you are around. And I'm going to agree with that. This
I
is
agree.
what
I
you're
agree.
seeing here is exactly what you get on any given day with
I'm a
Pizza
fun
Mike.
time. What can I say?
That's a debatable
That's
conversation.
debatable.
but
That's debatable. The more you know him, the more you don't want to know him.
I'm
Anyway.
like herpes. I'm going to give that keeps on giving.
oh, Jesus Christ.
Jesus.
I want to point out that we've been putting up with this for 10 years.
This is-
Somehow he hasn't died.
Nope.
Wow.
Yeah.
On that note, Mikey, what's something that people should be smoking that's fire?
Let's see. I like the new Hyena from Black Label.
Hyena, you mean?
Yes.
Hyena.
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 Why speak pizza needs?
Pizza
Come on
needs,
now.
yeah, yeah.
I
Pizza
speak
needs.
These are my translators. Pretty soon we'll all speak it.
God forbid.
I like that, and I like the let's see, the new HVC hotcakes.
Those are pretty good.
I got that was number 2 on Pizza Cigar Nation for number 2 cigars of the year. That's really good, and the Foundation, the new one that came out, the 10th year, the anniversary,
5 year.
It's
5-year anniversary is really good.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5. So that's really good. I think you should
That
smoke
was
those.
really good. If you can find those, you should get
Yeah.
those. Those are hard to find cigar.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really nice cigar. Nick did a great job with that.
Mhm.
So when you're pizzaing around,
I'm
If,
greasing around.
if somebody comes up to you and is like, "Hey, Pizza Mike, I follow you on Facebook, whatever," what generally should somebody expect if they come up to you? Basically, this, right?
A hug.
Yeah, we forgot about the hug.
That's right.
And do not let him bear hug you because we have a friend that had both of his
Cracked
floating
ribs.
ribs broke.
That's right.
He's a strong one. He's a strong
He
little
is
man.
really a solid walking muscle.
a little fire plug.
I mean, he really is.
Expect a hug and a pizza.
A hug and a pizza.
You know, if you could figure out a way to transport pizzas around all the time, there'd be a whole lot of people eating pizza.
There'd be a whole lot less hungry people on the streets.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
right.
who doesn't like pizza?
There's a few people out there, but they're probably bad people to know anyways.
People with heart conditions don't like. Well, they like pizza,
Yeah.
but they can't have it. So you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, there are a few.
There's
a few
maybe
people.
2 people in the whole world that don't like pizza.
Nobody's commented on that, so that's good.
Not pizza like, just pizza in general.
Right, both things. Most people like this guy,
Yeah, oddly enough.
except for that guy from IPCPR that called him a schmuck. Everybody else,
He's fired now. You don't work
he's
for
not
him.
there anymore. Well, him, he's not there anymore. Don't worry about that.
Uh,
Didn't you have a golf cart there one time with a boombox on it or something too?
no, that was
He stole a golf cart.
yeah.
You stole that. Did you steal the golf cart with the boombox?
I borrowed it. We
Oh.
both borrowed.
Cheeky shenanigans. You know? When you go to IPCPR, let's talk about a day in the life of Pizza Mike at a trade show.
Yes.
Let's start at the very beginning. What time do you get up to go to the trade show? Trade show starts at 10. What time do you get up?
Noon.
Okay.
or the other option, first day of the trade show.
I get up, I shower.
Thank God.
Gotta wash the. Gotta.
We don't want to know what you got to wash.
Semi-family oriented here.
I get up, I put my pizza clothes on. I go out and start being Pizza Mike.
Do we have a picture of him in his pizza clothing?
I don't know.
That would be something to think about.
I bet we can find one. We'll put that up in a little bit. So you go to the trade show. Trade show ends at 5 o'clock. You wander around all day, hang out with people you know, smoke some cigars, bullshit around. Then you go back to your hotel room and go to bed.
No, I go back to Harrah's because I'm a whale at Harrah's.
Right.
A whale at Harris.
Yes.
Are you a whale or is your dad the whale?
Technically, we're the same person almost.
No comment.
No comment.
Don't ruin his good thing. So you just go back to your hotel room and stay there. That's it. You're done for the night.
No.
5 o'clock. Wrap it
No.
up.
I go back and I change out my pizza clothes into different pizza clothes, something more comfortable.
Okay.
Then I go down to the lounge and get free drinks.
Free food, free drinks.
Free drinks and food. Then I go down to the Circle Bar and see what's going on there. But other people like to call it the Hookah Bar.
The hooker bar. The hooker bar.
Hooker or hookah?
Hooker.
Okay.
Just to clarify.
Because I thought he said
Two different
hookah.
things. Two very different things. All right, so what time do you get done at the hooker bar?
About 3 o'clock in the morning.
And then you go back to your hotel room?
And I go wandering around a bit.
You on a walkabout?
I go on a walkabout, yes.
Like,
I go to the Hookah Bar. And I go to the Venetian Bar, the other
The
bar.
other bar.
Yes. And see all who is there. And I usually just run into people from the cigar industry who are still out late.
or up early.
Either one.
So then you get back to your hotel room about 5 in the morning.
Mhm.
That's out, and then maybe by noon you're on the floor again.
Yep. Then I get myself a slice of pizza. I got to refuel.
Gotta get more
refuel.
pizza. More pizza. So, all right. Your main function at the trade show, what would you say it is?
To who I'm working for at the booth is to bring retailers to the booth to help sell the cigars to the retailers.
Okay. Okay. And typically you do that by saying, hey, I know you from Facebook, get over here.
Pretty much. So yeah, you can run, but you can't hide from Pizza Mike.
It's true. I've
That
seen
is
it.
also true.
That is true. That is
That
true.
is true.
Scarily enough.
He's like the plague. You can only hope to contain it, not avoid it.
Pizza Mike is COVID-19.
Well, we thought.
Turns out he's just a factor of it.
Yes, I'm a patient zero for something.
That's probably true.
That is probably true. That is probably true.
Oh, there's the Pizza Mike, Mike Pfeiffer's Pizza Mike. That's the Pizza
the
Legend.
pizza legend at Cigar Ambassador.
Yeah.
You've
That is
promoted
not him,
yourself.
by the way, everyone. However, he owns every piece of clothing that small child has on in the same
Yes,
size.
I do. I have the backpack,
In the
shirt,
same size.
Yes, I do.
Troy, can you just go to the pictures?
Oh, there's actually one of the photos right there with.
I didn't see it.
I know
So,
who that guy is.
Snappy.
Oh, there's a good point. Do you remember that time we went to a kickball tournament?
Yes, it was the Chattanooga Tweet Up.
2014 Chattanooga Tweet Up.
Yes.
And who are the world champions, cigar kickball champions?
Mongoose.
Yeah, the Angry Mongooses.
Yes, that's us.
That was us. Yes, that is correct. So we had that. That was a fun day. We went out there. My birthday was the night before. Everyone decided it was a great idea for me to just pound copious amounts of alcohol.
We try to run around bases.
It was my birthday. So then the next morning, I got up at 7 a.m. and went out there and kind of captained a team onto victory. The only real rule besides the standard kickball rules is that you always had to have a lit cigar.
Yep.
If you were playing, you had to have a lit cigar. While you're on the bench, you could sit back, but otherwise you had to have a lit cigar at all times. We had a good time with that. We didn't die, and we won that tournament, which was cool. Unfortunately, I never got to do another version of that tournament, so it is what it is. But there's a nice picture of Pizza Mike with his smoking jacket.
Yes.
Yes.
That's
Which he's donned here.
Oh,
a
look
few
at that
times.
haircut. Ooh.
Is that UG?
No, fucks Kevin. That was 2 years ago.
You don't have one with all your pizza pants and everything.
Snappy.
There's
Christopher
Christopher.
Manso, yeah.
Miss you, buddy.
He's got some really cool stuff happening with the shoelaces and everything.
Yeah,
Coffee.
shoelaces,
Coffee's
coffee.
kicking ass.
His podcast, and he's
Yeah.
also doing stand up too.
Yeah, that's real good. His son just I think is finished now, but was out in Durango going to college.
Be a veterinarian.
Yeah, I think he's doing more school, but not there anymore. But or maybe he is. I don't know. I haven't talked to him in a while. But I know that he was really enjoying himself with that whole thing. So, anyways,
The problem is all your Facebook photos are memes.
Yes, it's social
Yeah,
media. Come
yeah.
on now.
so when I wish people could understand, you at a trade show is a different thing entirely, and you keep glossing over it when I'm trying to feed it to you. But the point here is that you're a general force to be reckoned with on a trade show
Like a
floor.
force of nature. Yes, I am.
I don't know if a force of nature is the right word. But it is definitely something to behold because it's loud and raucous and frightening
Like
and
you say the word pizza, I'm like, dog, my ears up. What? I heard pizza.
it's abrasive and embracive at the same time, if that's a word. But it is definitely something to see. People,
We're speaking pizza needs. It's a word.
right? It's fine, right? It's fine.
It's like Eddie Ross in the movie. Pre-sale roll.
It's interesting to see though because a lot of people that don't know you, or the few people that don't know you, are at first kind of like, "Who is this guy?" And within minutes, they're on your page. They're seeing the Pizza Cigar Nation. The next thing you know, they're like your best friend. And that happens everywhere you go. Whether it's down in Dallas for those events, when we were in Chattanooga, it was the same thing. Everywhere you go, it's always Pizza Mike doing the Pizza Mike thing. You know, obviously you
Pizza got a pizza.
put pizza's gonna pizza.
Pizza going pizza. That's
Yep,
for
pizza
sure.
got a pizza.
That is so true. So true.
So I'm on.
So,
We're talking about Chattanooga between. There's a picture right
That's what I
there.
was talking about.
That's a
I'm
good
glad
time.
you caught up.
Okay, yeah.
What were we talking
I ain't
about?
just Sharper's pizza cutter in the drawer. Come on now.
That was 2 minutes ago, Mikey.
He's catching up. He's catching up. Scott said he misses those hugs from you, so
Aw.
that's sweet of him. When you go and you hang out with Pizza Mike and you start seeing these other people around him, it's this pizza magnet. He says he's greasy, but I think he's got a magnet in his ass because
It's a scary thing.
people
actually.
just like crowd around him and like you said, Carlito knew who you were and talked to you for a few minutes. What's frightening is he'll always remember. The next time you see Carlito, he'll be like, "Hey, Mike, how are you? What's going on?
Yeah.
How's the store?" Like he's that guy.
like
100%.
Jonathan Drew, when I was at the show one time, he was sitting up there with all the Swisher CEOs are walking by. He goes, hold on, Pizza Mike, come up here. You come up here and sit with me, and you come here and sit next to me and talk to these CEOs of Swisher.
So were you uncomfortable?
No, I was like, hey, what's up? He's like, who's this guy? He's like, this is Pizza Mike. You don't know who he is?
Well, they learned.
we
that
laugh,
day,
but it's
didn't
true.
they? They learned that day. Didn't
That's
they?
right.
Did you ask him for some Swisher Sweets while you had a chance?
No, I was like, can I get some Ligas?
Well, Jonathan probably handed you a fistful of cigars, knowing him.
Yeah, great guy,
Yeah.
good people.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You know what? Another thing we could talk about that. His whole staff, like he has got a team full of just some of the best people in the industry.
Yeah, Pedro's.
We've talked to Pedro 3 times now. We've had three events with him, and every time somebody learns something new, and he always has fun with us. So it's a good time for sure.
Yep.
Our rep now, Randy's a nice guy.
Mhm.
We like him pretty good. The rep we had before him was Jenny Lynn. She's
Yep.
fantastic. Obviously, she's down south now, and she seems to be really
Austin.
kicking ass.
Yep.
Just really good people. Randy's boss's name is Jeff. You remember Jeff Tennell?
Yeah.
Yeah, that mofo. Yeah, really good guy as well. Like they've just got a great team. All the guys on that team are just excellent people, man. And you should see if he'd do a Pizza Cigar Nation cigar with you.
Yeah.
That would be the thing.
I like a phone call.
That'd
We
be
have
the thing.
access to a predicated catalog
Yeah,
that helps with the FDA stuff. So.
they do it, kind of as a cross promotion, like what they did with the dojo stuff.
Yeah. There's things out there, Mikey.
Call it tobacco-roni.
Macaroni.
So while
Pizza
we're on,
Roni.
while we're on Grow State, what's one of your favorite sticks in there?
My favorite sticks is, let's see.
I know you like all the legal stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, but that's a softball. Pick something better. Not better, but you know what I mean.
Let's see.
Louis.
I like the Undercrown. The Shade Grow Undercrown's really good.
Mhm.
I like that. That's really top of line.
What do you find yourself smoking the most of, wrapper wise? What's the cigar that you smoke the most? With the tobacco, the variant or the varietal?
Maduro. I like
Maduro.
Yeah.
And from where? Like, are
Uh,
you more of like a broadleaf guy, or more like a San Andreas guy?
I like this Mexican San Andreas because it's real earthy and it's real leathery, and I like that. It's got creamy notes at the end.
Okay. When you do pizzas, let's go through the process, man. You got a piece of dough,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And where do you go from there?
I roll it out onto a pizza pan,
Uh-huh.
then I sauce it,
Right.
and then I stick whatever topping on people want, like the cheese, good peppers, mushrooms, onions, black olives,
Okay.
the sausage, Canadian bacon, Italian sausage.
And then?
And I throw it through the oven for 10 minutes. I cook it in 10 minutes in the oven at 455.
And then?
And I cut it up
And then?
and serve it to them.
All right.
So sauces. You know a thing or two about pizza.
Yes.
So will sauces change your pizza a lot?
Yes, it does. Because if you change your traditional red sauce pizza, like a customer who's been eating that pizza for so many years, they can tell, like, oh, did you change your sauce? Did you stick different basil or oregano in your sauce? Or did you do?
Does it get sweeter or more acidic when you change sauce?
It depends what kind of pizza sauce you use.
Okay.
You can go with like a pizza paste, or you can go with a liquid type or whatever. But we make our sauce from scratch.
Okay. So, last time you and I hung out, you went on this little tangent about cheese.
Yes.
So, what is so important about cheese when it comes to
It's
pizza?
actually a great question.
Just the way it cooks, the texture, when it comes out, like if it's burnt on top, the crispiness. Like Leprino is really good cheese company. We've been using a cheese that's got buffalo milk,
Okay.
and that's been cooking phenomenally.
Okay. So, do you want a real stringy cheese, or is there?
Yes, you don't want a real runny cheese. You want a real creamy cheese. That way, when you pick the pizza up, it's pulling to the pizza and everything.
Okay.
Just straight mozzarella, right?
Yes.
Do you see some of these cheeses have fillers in them, things like that?
Oh yeah, like cornstarch, all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
And what does that do to the cheese?
That just gives a terrible texture, and it's like generic.
Okay. So that's what separates your pizza from
Yeah,
a
not
lot of
generic.
other pizzas.
not
you use
generic.
a quality cheese.
Yeah, not generic like Papa John's.
Okay. We didn't have to name.
Just
it.
calling people
Just-
out.
Yeah.
Shit.
There's a lawsuit
Oh
waiting to
man,
happen.
we're gonna get sued for
Do you
this.
want to
No, you already said it.
Evaluate
We're
this.
live, man.
Where's my lawyer, Jakob?
Well,
I have him on
He hasn't even passed the bar yet. He hasn't even passed the bar yet.
So what
He
we
will.
can tell from all of this is that Pizza Mike is so prepared that he has a friend who's working on getting through the bar. It hasn't finished yet, but that's his lawyer.
I have him on retainer.
Now, to point out, you do not have him on retainer.
Like,
And also,
Stop.
and more importantly, he is not a lawyer,
right. Nor can he be on retainer.
nor has he ever offered to be on
Be on
retainer,
retainer.
for
That's,
you.
I think that's probably the most important.
That's the most
He
important.
can.
part.
Jakob has not offered anyone in this room to be on retainer
can.
for his.
Objection, lawyer. Badgering the witness.
Oh, this is
And
going
we're never
badly.
doing another podcast with Pizza Mike again because we're going to be broke.
Yeah, we're getting sued.
Yes, opinions of all guests do not inherently imply we agree with said guests.
Troy, we need a placard at the beginning from now on.
A disclaimer.
Yeah, the opinions
Oh,
said here are
boy.
spoken by our guests or by them only. Yeah.
Where do you want to go, man? What factory have you not seen that you want to see?
I want to see Fuente.
Okay.
I want to see Fuente, and I want to see Davidoff
Okay.
in the DR. There's two factories. I haven't been kicked out of the DR yet, that country, so I want to go there.
Mikey's objective in life is I want to be kicked out of the country.
Well, I'm trying to get a diplomatic passport, so that way even I do it's immunity.
As pizza ambassador from Pizza Land
Yep,
from Kilroy's.
it's
I
right.
need to buy an old dilapidated oil rig and call it Pizza Land.
I do want to go to Cuba too. I think that'd be fun.
You don't speak any Spanish.
Yo hablo gringo.
Hollywood greenbacks. Oh, Christ.
Rich gringo.
In other news, Pizza Mike has been kidnapped again.
Yes. In other news, Pizza Mike made a detour in Guantanamo Bay
They returned me.
after speaking Spanish and threatening to overthrow the Cuban government.
They returned me. Like, nope, you can have this guy back.
Sorry, it was all a misunderstanding.
Yes. Back to pizza really quick. So when you put the toppings on there, how
Yes.
do you keep the vegetables and whatnot from making the pizza soggy?
We hand chop all the vegetables every day.
Okay.
Mushrooms, green peppers, onions, and everything.
So is there a special trick to that? Because I know some places you can get loaded with onions and whatnot. and it's soggy.
Refrigeration.
Okay.
You gotta keep your temperature at a certain degree. Like we keep it like at 35 degrees. If you keep it at 30, everything at 32 is freezing. Everybody knows that. So we keep everything between 35 and 40 degrees.
That helps with the moisture content.
It also helps with health code violations too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
big deal.
That's a big deal. It's a big deal.
With pizza, you guys have had the same dough for 30 years. You guys make all the dough from scratch. Were there, obviously your dad did some things prior to that to know what dough works and what dough doesn't. You use a dough hook and you use a big
Yeah, we use
mixer.
a 50 quart mixer.
Is it yeast driven or is it a chemical like soda, baking
Yeast.
soda? Yeast, okay.
Yeah.
So you have to proof your dough, let it warm up and rise.
Yeah, we let it rise for at least 20 minutes before we roll out our pizzas.
Approximately how many hours in the day do you spend just on the dough, on the crust?
We make batches 2 times a day in the morning and in the evening. Whatever we don't use, we throw away because it's not good the next day.
I see. You think other pizza places don't do that, or
Yeah, they get it shipped in. Come on now.
trying to throw you a
Does-
softball here and
do
there
you-
without naming names?
Do you have a
Papa John's.
do you have a fryer at your place?
Or what? No,
No fryer.
no. We have a gas conveyor.
Okay. Because you take the dough and you roll it up, fry it, and roll it in cinnamon and sugar, and you got yourself donuts.
I know.
It'd be real good.
No, we don't have a fryer now. We just have a conveyor gas oven.
Okay.
Do you do like a cinnamon and sugar pizza?
We do a dessert pizza, yeah.
Dessert
Yeah.
pizza. What's
We
that?
take apple cinnamon.
Oh,
That sounds good, actually. Kind of a apple pie.
Yep, we sell a lot of those.
but that's delicious.
It is.
Everybody's gonna leave here hungry
You can go to my place and I'll make pizzas after this.
Yeah.
After hours.
after hours pizza party.
Well, trying to think about how to ask this next question without getting sued. So,
You know, you keep saying Papa John's, but which pizza do you hate the most? Which pizza company do you hate the most? I know the answer, but share with the people.
Papa John's, Domino's, and Pizza Hut. Sorry.
There was a 2-year period where you absolutely hated Domino's, and it made me laugh every single day.
Yes, no, Domino's. Don't get started.
That's the whole idea. It's your time to shine, Mikey.
But Domino's, okay, Domino's is good. You know, it's okay. It's okay if you want a good drunk pizza.
yeah, I was going to pull a prank on you one day and get your pizza and then go get a Domino's box and put your pizza in a Domino's box and make you eat it and then have you admit that that's actually pretty good
Sorry,
pizza.
I don't eat other people's pizza. I don't cheat on myself.
You don't cheat.
Unless you have to, because Vegas doesn't have a Kilroy's.
You do eat other people's pizza when you're not in town.
Yeah, just go with me back in the Harris kitchen. You know.
Then
How
it's
did you
okay.
manage to let them let you back in there?
Don't worry about that. That's
Don't
not
worry
important.
about that.
That's not important.
That's a different story.
It's more of they didn't know it was happening.
That's not how I worked there.
Okay, that's what I was getting at. And we'll stop there because that's...
So there was a night we had a party on the rooftop of a casino in Las Vegas, which will remain unnamed. However, Were you or were you not threatened to be thrown off of that? rooftop?
Was Suge Knight there? No.
Should not.
So I distinctly remember that being a little bit different because you kept hovering around our DJ, and finally our DJ said, "If you don't get away from me, I'm going to throw you off of this rooftop."
DJ Carbon. Shout
And
out.
about 10 minutes later, DJ Carbon picked Garrett up and threw him in the pool.
Yeah, if when all you hear was a big old thump, and you thought the whole pool's going through the floor. It's like, oh shit.
And about 5 minutes after that, we had their entire security team telling us that we were done having a party
Yeah.
on the rooftop of that
This is why we
casino.
can't have nice things.
That's why we can't have nice things.
And you're one of the reasons that.
I like to think it was the fuel for the fire that made it where we couldn't be
Well,
there
but
anymore.
Mikey for once wasn't one of the reasons.
More than a direct reason.
You just irritated him, and then Garrett paid the price.
Exactly. That's what I do.
You're an irritant, yes.
You're like adding gasoline to a burning fire sometimes. In a good way, though.
Yeah, it depends what kind of fire you want.
So let's talk some more about cigars because that's what you like. What was the number one cigar of the year with Pizza Cigar Nation this last year?
The I can't remember.
You don't remember?
The Xeno one that came out with the red band. on
Yes.
it? Yes. That what was that one called?
That was the Xeno Platinum
Xeno Platinum.
Crown
Xeno Platinum Crown Series. It
Limited
just
Edition.
limited edition that just came back.
Yeah, that was like the reboot. It was real good.
Yes, that was fantastic.
What
Sorry,
was
folks. Ain't much going on.
That was
Yeah.
three months ago, too.
Sorry.
what was it about that cigar that you liked the most?
I like the complexity of it. It was just so. It was just
It
so
was very
good.
complex. You're right.
It was
You
just
are
so,
right
it
there.
was
Right
just so
about
good for bringing them back. I was like, oh, these are come back.
Yeah.
Smoked it like
That was a
this.
little short, fat guy.
Yeah.
Looked like you, except
Yes.
in cigar format.
Yeah, not greasy.
Not greasy.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and then you had the hotcakes as your number two. I just smoked one of those yesterday. What would you like about that one?
I like the earthiness on it. It's real cedar and leathery. I thought he did a really good job. They're producing some fantastic cigars.
Yeah, Rainier's a cool guy too. Really, really thick Cuban accent, but really nice guy. Just a sweetheart of a guy. Really making some nice cigars. You're right. We did really well with the Pan Caliente a couple years ago.
Yeah.
That rocked out real good for us over here. When you do these pizza cigar lists every year, it's right around Christmas.
Mhm.
And Christmas is always a big time of year for you. You love Christmas. That's true. I've seen it.
Yes, I do love Christmas.
When he gets older, he's going to grow a white beard.
Yes, I am.
Your pizza Santa.
Call me Pizza Claus.
Pizza
Pizza
Claus.
Claus.
Yes. When you do those lists, you're always very excited when you come in and grab cigars for that, and it's always really funny because you're like, look at this one I found at this other store. You don't have this one. And you're incredibly excited. You're like a kid,
Yes.
and I think that's definitely part of the reason why people enjoy hanging out with you and being around you is because you're very excited about cigars.
Mm-hmm.
You might not be able to explain it as well as some other people.
Yeah, I'm
but-
not. But I don't go. I can't break it down like some people can. Like scientifically.
Yeah.
I can break a pizza down scientifically.
It's a pizza. That's a
If
different
it's-
story.
yeah, if it's a pizza, I'm your guy.
So, in the past, you've done videos. Recently, you've just been doing lists. With the pandemic this last year, it was really hard for you to get any videos done. But we've had some fun time with videos in the past with doing those with you. And I think Santa was involved in one of those videos back in the day.
There's also a rap video of me back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
For a Christmas
It's
one.
funny you mentioned that. We don't own the rights to this, but I happen to have that song available.
I like freestyle on that.
We'd like to see a little Mikey dance.
No, that's not.
But you're Mikey.
That's my song.
You're Mikey.
I rock. It's my life. Mikey. I gotta let people know
Sounds like a lot of mumbling, no spit.
Oh, boy.
So another thing you're big on is bourbons and whiskeys.
Yeah,
You do like to drink.
You do.
drink like a fish.
I've seen it.
I've seen it.
Adding gasoline to a burning fire.
Yeah.
Speaking of gas on a burning fire, tell us a little bit about some of your bourbons and whiskeys you like.
I like Hudson.
Hudson Baby Bourbon.
The baby. I like Weller's, the Green Label. Shout out. Send me something. I
Not
like.
gonna happen.
Probably not. They don't even have whiskey for people to buy.
I like them, and I like let's see, Old Granddad 1492. 1492 is really good.
1492. No, nah. The Old Granddad's 114.
Yeah, 114. That's really good. And I like Willet. Willet's really
It's good. Will's good.
Willet's
Will
really
it good? Will it good?
Then I like Four Roses.
That's really
That's a good
good.
whiskey.
I know you like Angel's Envy too.
Angels. Yeah, if
You
I
get
can get
enough
it for,
of it, and it becomes Angle Envy.
yeah, that's right. If I can get it for right price, it's good. Because
When he drinks a bottle of it, it becomes angle envious.
Yes.
That 90 degrees thing is tough for him.
Yeah.
There's a picture floating around of you leaning on our friend Paul, just like
oh, he has that by the way.
almost tipped over.
He has that like on his desk.
What's funny is Paul's like 6'3" and 140 pounds, and he was holding you up, and I don't know how.
We look like the weirdest odd gay couple. It's great.
Yeah, both of you wearing pizza shirts. That
There
was
goes another segment of the
another
office.
another weird night in Las Vegas.
You
So-
a rye guy?
Yeah, I like right because you can taste that. Yeah, because it's got a little bit of burn on it if you get the right one.
And you like rums?
I like rums, yes. I like Florida Con at 18 and Florida Con at 12 is really good.
So when you're not drinking whiskeys or bourbons, do you drink beers?
Yes, I go to my go-to beer is Miller Lite
Okay.
Why does Miller Lite stand out for you so much?
because Miller Lite stands out because my mom was a model during the '85 Olympics, and so for Miller Lite, so that's what we drink.
Miller Lite girl.
Yep, she's a Miller Lite girl. That's what we drink
Mm-hmm.
in the house.
You didn't get any looks from her. It's a shame.
I'm saying,
What can I say?
It's a shame.
and this is what we end up with.
Yeah, still glorious.
Oh,
Something like that. All right, I'm good with that. I think we'll go with glorious.
Oh, pizza.
Man, he's just answered all our questions so well. You even had a good answer for something, driving the cop car.
Yeah.
Something you did.
That's one of the best ones, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
All right,
Those
so
two.
It's still fun to drive, man. Come on now.
So, what are you excited to see this trade show? Is there anything that you've heard about so far that you're interested in, or do you think that somebody might be coming out with any speculation from reading on the internets?
I'm excited just to see the people because last
Yeah.
year it got canceled due to COVID. Hopefully, it doesn't get canceled again due to COVID. We don't have to wear the mask. I can't see people walk around wearing masks smoking cigars.
Well, they're going to make everybody smoke only in booths, so things are going to be a lot tighter. It's going to be a lot harder to get around.
even at the bar
I don't know what they're going to do with that. That's a whole other thing.
because I
There's
know that
congregation
because I know
afterwards, it'll
that
be
the
weird.
stands, the part where Tellin got sold.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's going to be completely different rules.
Yeah, hopefully they don't get crazy and decide to try to ban smoking because
Yeah.
that'll get weird fast.
Yeah.
Have you seen? I know Steve Saka made some mentions of he's got some stuff coming out this year. I've seen a few other mentions. I know Black Label's got something. I think that Dissonance also going to do something. Is there anybody that you're really excited to see new product coming from?
If there's any boutique blends that's out there still, I'm happy to see them survive because that's how the cigar industry got started, was boutique.
Mm-hmm.
Well, definitely got it kick-started. In '95 when nobody was out there except the big guys and these little tiny companies started coming out.
Yeah.
That was really what fueled the growth that we've seen even into 2021 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess we'll see what comes next as far as new stuff. I didn't know if maybe you'd heard something because I know you spend all of your time on the internet. So,
No, I heard everything as where else does.
what do you think about Matt Booth's an old friend of mine? What do you think about
Goofy.
yeah? What do you think about the unobtainium that we're seeing kind of creeping up? You're seeing people on the internet with old Daruma and stuff like that. Would you be excited to see him come out with some old stuff again?
Yeah, because he
Some
came
tobacco
back. He came back with the payback.
Right, Payback is out.
Payback, and he came. Then maybe come back with the Nappy B. Release that.
That's out and about a little bit.
I'm not
seen
sure
some of
he would
that,
release that internationally.
or nationally.
Yeah.
Because that was a single store exclusive.
'Cause that was really good.
I'd like to see the regular Daruma back out and the old Namakubi, not the Ecuador, but
The old, with the
lighter wrapper,
Yes.
one, with the Habano wrapper. Yeah, that was a really good
that
cigar.
was fantastic. That Cordoran.
Yeah,
Yep.
not the Ecuador. That's the dark, the one that was the Ecuador Habano, the light.
Yeah.
The first one there. That was a nice cigar.
Yeah, it was really good.
So I'd like to see those again.
Yeah, his anniversary was really good too.
The 11.
Yeah, that was really good. That was phenomenal.
The other big one, I think, I keep seeing Nicholas Melillo is posting a lot of pictures of something that doesn't look like any of his current cigars.
The Lumberjack.
No, we got an answer about that. That's actually
Or Paul Bunyan was.
Paul Bunyan,
Paul Bunyan.
and that's for the guy Paul Rosenberg, who's the lawyer for Slim Shady. He's actually a huge cigar guy,
Okay.
but he's big like a lumberjack. He looks like a lumberjack. He showed a picture of Nick and him next to each other in front of a barn, and he's like almost two of Nick. He's huge, so it makes sense that they call him Paul Bunyan. But yeah, so I don't know that that's going to be a regular production cigar. He did that several years ago, just a one-time thing for him. Did like 20 boxes, super small production. But I think it's loosely based on the Tabernacle Broadleaf.
Okay.
Yeah,
Let's see. Stocko's got a new one coming out too from. I don't know where he did just for smoke and only bundles of smoke.
yeah, that unnamed one,
Yeah.
the little Lancero thing. Yeah, I wonder if that's going to see the larger production or if that's just.
So then I'm excited to see the Talus come back under
That's
Michael
big news. Yeah,
Michael Hicklocks.
yeah. I heard about coming back out with all the Tempo Fear, Temposphere. I can't remember what the.
It's one of those.
It's very exciting though. We're going to see the old portfolio from Matt Sherman rebirthed, and from what I understand, blends are going to stay the same. Those are all great cigars, so
Mhm.
it'll be cool to see those again.
But isn't Davidoff bringing back the old number 3 series? And they came in the wooden tube.
Oh, the anniversary series.
Yes.
Well, I know that Annie 3s are still available, but the Annie 2 and Annie 1 were retired, so maybe they are doing something with that. I haven't heard a lot from them this year as far as what's new.
Because that and they come in the wooden tube was fantastic.
Yeah, the old number Annie 1s.
Because we took the wooden tube and
anniversary
made nunchucks.
Nunchucks. That's why you liked it.
Yeah,
It didn't have anything to do with the cigar. It was the fact that he could make nunchucks.
that is also true.
It's important stuff.
Mikey is easily entertained.
You're not wrong. I've seen it.
Yeah.
Well, the big next question, I guess, is what's next for Pizza Cigar Nation? How long till we hit 10?
Maybe a year.
You think next year?
Yeah, we'll be bigger, badder, and better.
You got anything in the works to do with the thing? You gonna get some shirts out again or anything like that?
Yeah, we have merchandise. We have shirts. We have hats. We have beanies. We have everything.
So you just need to go to Pizza Cigar Nation, send you a message via Facebook.
Yep, send me a message of what you want, and we can do it.
And they're reasonably priced from what I remember. I don't think you were doing too terribly priced stuff from the stuff that I'd seen.
Nope, they're nice
The
and
shirts
soft.
and
They feel like a
things.
warm hug from me.
Oh,
Oh,
jeez.
jeez.
That'll sell some shirts.
That's
That'll sell some
I really
shirts.
cut into sales in one comment. One comment, and there goes the sales.
If nobody liked you before, they definitely don't like
Yeah.
you now.
Well, they're not once worn by you.
Yeah, it's not like one of those things we find on the internet.
Yeah.
I hope. Oh, wow. Just a train wreck.
Yeah. Covered a lot of ground with Mikey tonight.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
What do you want to talk about, Pizza Mike?
Talk about you. What was your first impression when you met me?
Oh man. Oh dear Lord. Another one. Turns out you're one of a
TJ
kind.
Cali.
So you were you came into the store looking to learn. You were definitely interested in that, and we always appreciate that. That's always a good thing because a lot of people come to a store and they're like, I know everything, and there's no way that you, being a professional tobacconist, could know everything or anything that I don't already know. So anytime you come in humbly and just say, hey, I'd like to learn more, or you're asking questions, that's always a good thing.
Yep.
And then be willing to answer questions too, because there's things we have to know in order to direct you towards what you should probably be looking at.
That is also very true.
So coming into a cigar shop with an open mind is a key component. And you definitely had that, and that was that was a good thing, man. If you didn't do that, that would have been probably would have been a whole different kind of situation. I mean, that would have made it where Pizza Cigar Nation was never born, and
Yeah.
you'd just be a tired pizza man all the time.
Another question for you: how did you get started smoking cigars?
So the day that I graduated high school, um, I illegally purchased some Phillies blunts, the Titans actually, not the blunt, but the Titans, and smoked that. And then one of the guys that was in the Navy with my dad was there that night because he had actually retired from the Navy the same day, and we had a big party in the backyard. And he handed me this like real Cohiba, and I was like, holy shit, this is really good. Like I just smoked that really shitty cigar, and now I'm having a really good cigar. Had no clue that they were completely different monsters, you know, and that was 1997. And when I smoked that Cohiba, it was like, well, there's obviously something else here besides just, you know, the Philly blunt that was just sweet and mush, you know. So fast forward and then just catch cigars every now and then. You know, smoke cigars with my buddies a little bit here and there. And the next real big one that stuck with me was a little Punch Champion. And a friend of mine and I used to smoke those every once in a while. And then it ended up that was his dad's favorite cigar. So we smoked those sometimes. And whenever we'd have them, we'd all smoke those. And then one day I was working restaurants. I was working 2 different kitchens, working for people that I knew. And my wife told me that there was an ad in the paper for somebody to work part-time in a cigar shop. And I was like, well, I like cigars. And she's like, you like cigars, you should get a job. So I always blame her for everything. It's all her fault. She really hates me saying that. So, gosh, I hope she's not watching. So I
Miss Crippen.
went over, started working with them, and worked 2 days a week with them. And a couple weeks later, their manager decided that she wasn't happy and she was going to quit. And they came to me and said, "Do you want to run a cigar shop?" I'm like, "Well, I've ran restaurants for a number of
So
years."
you're a chef by trade.
I've done that before, yeah. But yeah, so I started managing the cigar shop, and about 9 weeks into managing the cigar shop, just into my 3rd full month, the guys come in and say, "Hey, we don't have anything in inventory, and people are complaining because things are missing." I'm like, "What? Or things aren't on the shelf?" And I'm like, "Well, I didn't realize I was supposed to order things. You know, I figured like with the restaurant where you just kind of say, this is what I need every week, and it just happened." So it all worked with the computers in the restaurants. So I learned real quick that you have to make orders, and so I started making orders, and we grew that store from a little tiny $80,000 a year store to a $650,000 a year store. And yeah, that's kind of the pathway. It was just on accident. Showed up, started doing cigar stuff. I quit doing restaurant stuff and just did cigar stuff the whole time, and it was a lot easier and a lot more fun. So,
Since you're a chef by trade, what is your favorite thing to make?
it depends on the day. I've been really into like messing with curries in the past and trying to figure that out because that's a whole other world of stuff with all the different spices that go into curry sauce, and I like messing around with that stuff. A lot of my formal training was classic low southern cooking. So obviously any of the big hearty meals, you know, the chicken fried steaks and anything with mashed potatoes is always good. Lots of fried food, which is why I look like I do.
Nothing wrong with that.
But lately, I've been tinkering around a lot with kind of Mediterranean style stuff, you know, hummuses and different kinds of ways to flavor chicken, as far as, because there's about 1,000 different ways that they marinate chicken in the Mediterranean area, and other meat as well.
Chicken's like that.
It's very versatile. So kind of moving over from you know those things that I've done in the past, and then moving into the future kind of stuff. You know, obviously Southwestern Mexican style food, you know, traditional Mexican style food, lots of vegetables, not so much with the meats and stewed meats, things like that. Really kind of across the board as far as food is concerned. And I like to eat. Again, that's why I am how I am. But I've always enjoyed learning more about that stuff. It's a lot nicer now that it's not the thing that I have to do in order to feed my family.
Yeah.
So it makes it a little bit more freeing when you don't have to make that the main focus on things. A lot like cigars, you know, it's the same thing where if you're on it every day, it's really easy to just kind of fall into a rut or get burned out. So I try to make it a point to smoke different things instead of smoking the same thing constantly.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people out there they get on one cigar and they just stay, and that's they stay in that little frame. And they don't look at other stuff. So, proof of that was a couple months ago when we got all those El Waywense torpedoes that were all old.
Yeah,
I smoked like 3 boxes of the same cigar in a month.
Yeah,
a month
we're
or two.
responsible for getting rid of a lot of those.
Yeah.
If you could smoke a cigar with anybody, who would you smoke with?
Oh, that's an old question, man. I've thought long and hard about that over the years, and I've had various answers, but the one that sticks, I think, the most, I think I'd like to sit with Alejandro Robena and use my broken Spanish without a translator and see what we can glean for a conversation over a couple of hours. I think I've talked about this before, but I ended up meeting Arsenio Ramos, who was the master of Aganorsa tobacco for a lot of years. And by happenstance, I ended up meeting him on a bench in Houston, Texas, and sat and talked with him for the better part of an hour. And he didn't speak English. I didn't speak good Spanish. I spoke kitchen Spanish, but we had a really great conversation over a cigar, and that was awesome. A lot of people say Avo, and I love that conversation point because I've gotten to have several cigars with Avo, and those are always entertaining conversations. Avo was great. I think that overall, the coolest thing is we started doing this podcast, and we're able to smoke cigars with the people we like to smoke cigars with this podcast. So, and they're all kind of the same way. This is the same way we'd have a conversation. We might get a little bit more raucous, but it would be very similar to a conversation that we would have with a guy hanging out smoking a cigar. And I think that's really kind of the point of the Enter the Cigar podcast, is just to have those conversations with people that we like to hang out with. So with that being said, currently, besides the obvious answers, man, I'd like to. I get to do it pretty regularly anyway, so maybe I'm abusive of this a little bit. But people like Joel Reeser, he's a great one to have a cigar with and just have a great conversation that goes all over the place. Garrett Calhoun, I've had one of the greatest cigar experiences ever. When we put the white label Davidoff into the new store, or into the store, at the old store that I worked at, rather, we got a hold of some 1981 Davidoff number ones. They were the Cuban Davidoffs, basically cigars that generally just didn't exist. We paid a small fortune to pick those cigars up. You could buy a used car for what I spent on cigars. But we, at the end of the night, after we got everything set up, it was all lit, we turned all the lights off in the humidor, drug 2 big easy chairs in there, and the two of us just sat there for an hour and a half and just, we didn't even talk. We just smoked a cigar together. And I think the only words that we said were, "Fuck, this is good. Holy shit, this cigar is amazing. I can't believe this cigar is 27 years old." And the very last thing we said was, "Dude, this cigar is actually getting pretty strong." We had a little bit, we were right behind the band, and it had ramped up. So even 27 years on that cigar, and it was powerful. It had a powerful amount of nicotine in it still. There's a lot of people I'd like to smoke a cigar with, but I've been fortunate enough to smoke a cigar with a lot of people. So it's go me. I hate to brag about it, but it's been pretty cool. It's been a pretty fun ride.
Good for you.
It's been a pretty
What
fun
about you,
ride.
Todd?
Man, I think I'd like to smoke a cigar with Che and Castro. Then I'd kill him. Maybe it'd be free.
I was wondering where you're going with that.
Yeah. Well, I think it'd be interesting. But
We could turn that into Pizza Land.
yeah.
That could be a cool week on it.
Free sugar and tobacco. But if you could go back in time, Churchill would be cool. I think a lot of people would smoke a cigar with Churchill. Knowing what we know, it would be cool, to get in a time machine and go right during the Cuban Missile Crisis and smoke a cigar with Kennedy while he was stressed out, and get the reasoning behind what he was doing, what he was doing.
Why he banned, yeah.
I always say Avo because jazz guys are fascinating people.
Yeah.
They
I'm
have
sorry
one.
you missed the boat on that one.
Yeah.
Man, that was cool.
In real time, in our time, one of the guys I really enjoy smoking a cigar with is Nabil, because he has an extreme book of knowledge, and he's an interesting guy, and he'll check you along the way to make sure you're not an idiot.
Trust me.
Nabil's got a book in the front lounge. There's a book that says "Everything I Know About Cigars" by Nabil Sabah.
Mm-hmm.
And I grabbed it one day because I wanted to know. And you open it up, the first page is blank,
Mhm.
and the next page is blank, and it's a hard leather-bound 150-page book, and every page is blank.
Yep.
That's the guy, man.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, he
Hilo
really
is
is.
fantastic, by the way.
Yeah, he looks
He is,
a wonderful cigar.
Fantastic.
And then we're blessed to have Father H, who is definitely a guy that I love smoking cigars with him because he is a very good priest, but at the same time, he's a really good guy. You can talk about anything with him. He even pushes the English language a little bit, which is something you really don't see from priests.
Yeah.
So he's a chill guy to smoke a cigar with.
Then how'd you get smoking cigars?
Well, man, I used to smoke them back in the day. Stopped. I went on that super fitness kick.
You should be a marathon runner?
Understatement.
Marathons, triathlons, ultra marathons. Picked it up. Had a couple friends. What actually got me re-kicked in was I had a friend, and he's a good guy. And I have this theory: don't give someone a cigar if they haven't smoked in a while or they're new to cigars, because what I may like right now is not good for somebody that hasn't smoked cigars or is new to cigars.
Because
And
everybody's
he
got
kept
different.
on giving me, and I'm not going to name the name, but it was a very grassy hay cigar, very mild, and it was a cheaper brand cigar, so the quality of the tobacco was low. And before I stopped smoking cigars, I smoked a Cohiba Blacks, and I was at another shop here in town. I grabbed a couple of those, lit that thing up, man, and last 4.5 years I haven't gone, but maybe I went 1 month without smoking a cigar.
What's your, if I tell you, what are you, financial advisor? What are you?
I do financial consulting, mainly risk management. Was floor trader back in the day.
Okay.
We got some varied backgrounds. G's got a degree in business, got a master's in finance. So it's all good.
All right. So what's your go-to cigar for now? What do you like to?
I smoke everything. G will tell you that. I'm pretty good about giving everything in the humidor. But if I had one cigar right now that we're not going to have very much longer, it would be the Hyena. That thing really impressed me. I mean, I really am a big fan of what Black Label's doing. I think they've created a pretty solid foundation. Their Blackwork stuff, is really special, and that Hyena is really good. We do think it's authentic Congo, Cameroon.
African Cameroon.
Yeah, and that's a pretty magical stick.
So I won't mention names, but we were sitting with someone who works for a bigger company, actually Friday, a bigger company that uses a ton of Cameroon. And this person was instrumental in the way that they continue to do business. And he looked at the cigar and said, "This is too dark. This can't possibly be real Cameroon."
Yeah, he smelled it and said it was just too sweet. And
He lit it, and about 3 puffs in, he said, "Yeah, man, this is, oh wow, this is real Cameroon."
it's a real McCoy.
And then he continued through, and the last few puffs, he still couldn't believe it. Through the whole cigar, he couldn't believe it. In the last few puffs, he had maybe a half an inch left, burning his fingers, and he said, "It's not how I would have done it, but that's a really nice expression." And the word he used was expression of Cameroon tobacco.
What's
of
your
real Cameroon tobacco?
What's your favorite pairing with a cigar? What do you like? Whiskey, rum? Or?
That varies a lot on the cigar.
Yeah.
So, one of the best cigar experiences that I've ever had in my life was smoking a 64 Padron that was 24 years old with authentic Cuban rum. And that was by far phenomenal. It was one of those things that I sat down there and I knew exactly, while smoking that 24-year-old cigar, what Old Man Padron was going for. Because that was the smoothest cigar I've ever smoked. I know the ambiance and stuff made, but that was by far the best. But certain cigars, I feel, some are rum cigars.
Like Havana Club rum?
Yeah. Cuban Havana Club. Some cigars match very well with rum. Some go well with high-end bourbons, and then you've got your Scotch cigars. So depending on if you've got a real peaty Scotch, I think a milder cigar goes better with peaty Scotches, but some people will tell you it's the opposite of that.
Yeah.
But I would say this: if you like the cigar and you like the spirit, I'm not going to tell you it's wrong.
Smoke what you like and
Yeah.
drink what you like.
Exactly. But I think there's a few things that
Like one cigar,
Rum chata is not good with a cigar.
one
Okay?
cigar I bring back if I could would be the LFD El Museo.
It's like the third time I've heard that this week. Somebody talking about that cigar.
You know what I'd bring back? The Camacho, the original
Little
Camacho.
triple Maduro.
Triple Maduro.
I would bring back if we're talking about this. I would bring back the old Chateau Real from Drew Estate Maduro.
Okay.
It was a mild Maduro,
Somebody gave me one of those.
and it
I
had
don't
this
think I
like
smoked it.
cherry note to it. It was just a beautiful cigar, and I guess it just didn't do well in market because they pulled it about 5 years ago. And there's been rumblings over the years about them maybe bringing that cigar back, but there aren't a lot of like truly mild Maduro cigars out there. Like the Avo Maduro is a good example, but there's a lot of cigars out there that are sneaky and deceptive where when you're smoking it, you think, oh, this is a fairly mild Maduro, and then you kind of get wobbly about halfway through it, and you're like, well, that's a lot stronger than I thought, because Maduro can be very, very smooth.
Yeah.
But that cigar was just smooth and mild and easy to smoke, and the flavor profile was just unlike a lot of other things out there.
Go ahead.
I think they realized that broadleaf, there's better applications for broadleaf.
So speaking of a sneaky cigar, remember when we cracked open the box of Armstrongs?
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
I had gotten busy with customers, and Gordon was getting halfway through it, and he walks up to me and he hands me this chocolate. He goes, "You're going to need this." And I'm like, "What?" And as I progressively smoked into that cigar, it got strong, really strong.
That's the Aroa Hamastron.
Yeah, and that's
Beautiful cigar.
beautiful cigar.
Classic expression of the tobaccos from that region.
There's a guy that's doing some good stuff too. That family,
Agreed.
that whole family. I know there's two different companies, but both sides of it are.
There's the woman and the.
Good tobacco is good tobacco.
Their Corojo is some of the most special stuff on the planet. I'm thoroughly convinced of that. I mean, Oscar's got some good Corojo too, but I think it's probably grown roughly in the same region. So
Don't you have a story about Oscar?
I've got lots of Oscar stories. I've told that one though. The thing about the Hamastron tobacco, and specifically the tobacco that the Arroyos produce, that changes the game is it's all in pre-industry. It's all before it actually goes in to be rolled. It's all in the production part of it when they're working through the tobacco after it comes out of the field. And it's true that the soils create some of that, but you have to remember that family is the one that originated Corojo in Honduras. With that being told, the processes that they use are just little differences between what they do and what other companies do. Typically, other companies do these things that are not bad by any means, but they're shortcuts that work. And those guys take their time with every step of the process, all the way down to where most people would take the tobacco and they air it out. They take a hand of tobacco after it's been through processing. They'll air it out and then they'll go and put it in the pilones. And what they do, they have these giant drums, and the rooms are all temperature and heat, temperature and
climate control.
climate controlled. Yeah, that's probably the best way to put it. And these huge steel drums, they're 3 Mikeys wide. Mikey's now a unit of measurement, by the way. They're 3 Mikeys wide. They're these huge steel drums, and they have holes in them. They just tie each hand of tobacco to the drum, and it sprays moisture and keeps the heat where it needs to be. And these drums rotate, and they do that for several days at a time. And that's just one of these extra little steps. What that does is it opens up all the little parts that are in the leaves because it moves them around and makes them function a little bit, breaks the vascules and makes things really, really scream when it comes out. And that's part of why they have the flavor that they have. It's beautiful, and it's so different than what other people are doing. And I think that's part of the reason why that Corojo tastes like nothing else on the planet.
Did you go down to that factory?
I've spent a lot of time at the Aroa factory. I could probably, with some confidence, I could actually do the tour at this point. I could probably lead that tour. But I spent some serious time down there.
We got Jimmy Prouty saying that he's never seen you this silent for that long. And Phil's wife, Andrea, said, "Mike, you pay attention."
He's got a very short attention span.
Thanks, Mom.
We talked about cigars to bring back. I wish that they would do some larger release of the old Avo Lounge, the blue label one. That was so good. Man, that's one I haven't thought of in a long time. We'll take one of those out. We still have some, I hope. Yeah, man. So the world of cigars is a very interesting thing. There's all these different players now with all the little boutique companies. I mean, never in my life did I think I'd ever see something called the Drunken Chicken cigar. I haven't smoked any of them. I've heard some good things,
Yeah.
but the fact that there's something as crazy as the Drunken Chicken out there, that
Sounds like me, the Drunken Pizza
Or
Place.
the Chillin' Moose.
Chillin' Moose. That's
Just
another one.
just
you know,
interesting names.
yeah.
I mean, just they catch. I've got a friend that likes those.
It's interesting to see the evolution in cigars, and like we talked about. You know, maybe one day we'll end up with the Pizza Cigar Nation cigar.
Yep.
Pretty wild. It's
Yeah, that would be crazy.
definitely a different world than it used to be, for sure. So I mean, we're at the hour and a half mark. We can probably sit here and talk all night about cigar stuff, but you got anything else that you want to talk about, Pizza Mike?
That's one thing. Thank you for having me on. Much appreciated.
Well, I wasn't ready for that part yet, but you're welcome, and thank you for coming on. He's trying to
And with
sign
that,
off
Mikey's
on
trying to
us.
sign off on us.
I got pizza things to do.
pizza things to do.
The one
He's got
person,
memes to post.
that's right. The one person that's left watching this is like, Jesus, now they're quitting. Now they're starting to talk about good stuff and
Yeah.
going to leave. Well, I think this has been fun. I think that we've had a lot of good talk about your part of the industry and what you're doing, and I hope that you see some more people following Pizza Cigar Nation after
Hopefully,
this.
yeah.
We do news, events, all kinds of stuff to spread the word about cigars.
So you don't have an official website, but you do have obviously the Facebook group. Pizza Cigar Nation is a private group, so they'll have to get with you personally, right? Is that correct?
Can they find the group and just join it?
No, it's not open.
Okay.
Yeah. So you have to
Because
contact.
Facebook started cracking down on tobacco groups that are open, so shut them down.
That's where I was going to.
There aren't any sales on your website. People
No.
don't sell cigars on your, not your website, but your Facebook page. There are some groups that do that kind of thing. But
You have to get permission for me to hit me up first.
talk about deals or anything
Talk to
like
the
that.
admin.
So if you wanted PCN, either hit Mikey up, hit me up, hit Gordon up. and-
Or hit Troy Griggs,
Troy Griggs,
my life partner.
our engineer, and apparently Pizza's getting an apartment with him at some point.
After he gets stabbed multiple times.
There's a lot of knife happening over there right now. Stay over there till I leave, please.
Yeah.
I'm adverse to blood.
And honestly, Mom.
Yeah,
I don't
we're
want to
gonna
come
need
in.
him out.
I don't want to come in the morning and mom.
Slip on the grease.
Yeah, he's got one already. It's already
You
out.
hit the double karambit tonight. And no, that's not sexual.
It sounds dirty, but isn't.
You might think it is, but that is you.
It sounds dirty, but isn't. But in the future, we'll probably have Pizza on for little spots when there's people that he knows that are on the group here and on the chat. We got some more things that we're working on, trying to get some more things wrangled up, and so some more really good things to come.
Mhm.
So soon we might have one of the biggest names we've ever had that people will actually recognize, which is fun,
Mhm.
kind of exciting in its own unique way.
Mhm.
I really have enjoyed, talking with the folks that are the lesser knowns, but I guess we'll do some of that too. So
Yeah. But those people are really what makes things happen.
That's
I mean,
it.
like,
that's
the blenders,
way
the rollers, the guys that run companies, I mean, they're all important. But you got to have great support.
Yeah.
We're in a region that we get great support. We got great reps.
It's true. It's very
So
true.
We are fortunate for that.
Very true. All right, man. Well, so we'll try to do another one next week, and thanks for hanging out with us tonight, Pizza.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, man. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching, and we'll get some more things going soon. Have a good night.
No
Yeah.
ranch.
No ranch. That's the password. No
Put
ranch.
ranch on everything.
Ah.
Salad, pizza, steak.
Hidden Valley.
On pizza.
Don't hide that valley around here. All right, guys. Have a good one. Thanks
All
a
right.
lot.